First, can you kind of just give me some background as far as did you grow up in the diocese, and if so, where you grew up and kind of your faith background
Okay.
growing up?
So I actually grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. Cradle Catholic, my family was Catholic. Moved to Evansville in 1984 to go to college at University of Evansville, and just stayed. I met my wife Jenny there at U of E, and we've stayed planted in Evansville since then. So I've been in Evansville since 1984. So, yeah.
And you mentioned you grew up Catholic. Was there a certain point in your either youth or as an adult that like the faith kind of took off for you, or has it been kind of gradual for you?
So we grew up Catholic, went to church on Sunday, but outside of that, that was the extent of the Catholic stuff in the house growing up. My transformation into an avid Catholic came after my Crucio, or when I made Crucio, and that was in 1993. So at that point is when being a Catholic became a real part of who I was as a person. It was in the background, or non-existent really, prior to my Crucio weekend. So that was the transforming event that happened.
Was it, I know you've been in the class for 4 years, but like was it around that time that you were started considering, I guess, when did you first start to consider the permanent diaconate and kind of the process to getting there?
Okay. So I considered joining the prior group. So the guys that got ordained 4 years ago, I was interested in, so that would have been 8 to 10 years ago, is when I started first thinking about, what is God calling me to? But the timing wasn't right at that point. I was still, my commitments with family, kids were still, at home at that point. I had some ministry work that I was still doing that I was committed to that took a lot of time. So the timing wasn't right at that point. So I chose not to even apply for that group. And then when the call out went for this go around to join the current group, several people actually reached out to me and said, "Hey, have you considered this?" And so I kind of took that as, this is something I need to really, it's been kind of thinking about, but now I really need to take the next step and go ahead and do it. So I was excited. I had support of Jenny. She was actually very supportive of me doing this. So went ahead and dove in a little over 4 years ago now. So, yeah.
I don't know if you had expectations of what the whole preparation of the classes over the 4 years, what that would be like, but if so, has it been what you expected, different, or just kind of what this experience has been like overall?
I will tell you that the formation process is exceptional. St. Mindra does an amazing job. The professors that they put in front of us, it's for lack of a better word, it's just amazing. These guys and gals are really, really good, high quality people. Was it what I expected? I didn't really have any expectation. I knew there would be coursework and papers and all that kind of stuff, so I was expecting that. If anything, the quality, the challenge of it was better than I had thought it was going to be. These guys, these professors, both men and women who they put in front of us, they're really, really good, educated people who a lot of them had this real desire to share what they had, what their knowledge was. They just wanted you to know it, and it was encouraging. And they were very very generous with their time and their wanting to share what they had and giving of their time to help us and stuff. So it was really good. I was excited to do it. It was a lot of fun. So
Not sure about your past before you got to St. Ben's, but just your time at St. Ben's or anything previously working in the parish. Do you think that helps prepare you at all for working in a parish as a deacon?
Sure. So my prior ministry was the Crucial movement. So I served for around 13 years on the diocesan secretariat for Crucial, and that was a great experience. I loved that, and that was part of the reason why I didn't enter into the class 4 years or 8 years ago, because I was still in the midst of serving out my time on the Crucial Secretariat, but that was instrumental in Crucial has been a major part of my life and in my spiritual life, in developing me as into the Christian man that I am, the Catholic man that I am. So that experience was kind of the beginnings, the base, and then since I've been here at St. Ben's for the last almost 2 years now, it's been wonderful. I mean, the people here are great. This is a vibrant parish, a wonderful parish, and working alongside them and just growing in faith with them has helped in fostering and building up, what it may take to be a deacon. I have no idea what it's going to be like, to be a deacon. I'm trusting the new Lord to be the catalyst there. So, yeah.
Are there any? I know you haven't obviously fulfilled the duties yet, but are there any aspects of being a deacon that you're most looking forward to?
The main role of deacon is to serve. So serving the people of God, walking with people wherever they are in their faith journey, helping people to grow closer to Christ, serving the church in that way. One thing I'm super excited about is being able to serve at the altar, being for lack of a better word, part of the action that goes on in our Holy Mass, and being that close and being a part of that, and being able to bring Jesus to people in that capacity is really exciting. But just serving, I love to be able to walk with people and serve with people who are we're all on a pilgrimage trying to get to heaven, and here we go. We're just trying to get a little bit closer while we're here on earth, kind of thing. So,
you mentioned considering it the class before entering the class. From when you entered for this class, were you pretty confident that this was the path that you were supposed to go down, or was there a discernment throughout these last 4 years?
So it is the whole time is a discernment, and I think I felt pretty confident that this is where God was calling me to go next. I remember before entering the program, I said, "Okay, Lord, where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? I want to serve you. How do you want me to serve you?" And then the email went out about recruiting for the next class, and people were calling me and saying, or email me or something and saying, "Hey, have you thought of this?" So I took that as, okay, this is where God's asking me to go. So I never really questioned anything like that. So really, even after the first year, or even through the first year, I was pretty confident that that's where God wanted me to be. And I never heard anything like, "Don't do this." I never heard that. And I was listening. And it takes conversations with Jenny, my wife Jenny. Throughout that process, we would talk about, okay, how's this looking? Are you still comfortable with this? And because she has, it's going to affect her as well. And so how are we doing? Checking in with each other. And so there was never really any looking back or hesitancy. I've been pretty confident this is where this is where he wants me to go. So I'm ready to go. He's leading. I'm just following him. So, yeah.
And you had mentioned the class having 16 guys in it. How important is it just having the group in general and having other guys going through the class with you at the same time?
You form an amazing bond with these 15 other guys. I mean, you're together once a month for a long weekend for 10 months out of every year. And then we spent a whole week up at St. Mindred. You can't help but draw close to each other. And they're a good group of guys. This is a great group of gentlemen who the Lord is calling to this ministry. We looked forward to those weekends together. They were great weekends. We would, you draw close to each other because you're spending so much time together and you're learning together. The classwork is very interactive while we're on the weekends. So, we're talking amongst each other about the different things. So it's the camaraderie between our group is pretty good. We enjoy each other's company very well. So it was very important.
As of today, we're roughly a month and a half or so from the August ordination. Has it set in that it's approaching that close, or can you guys talk about how much it's registered, I guess, that's quickly approaching?
Yeah, we're about 44 days if you want to know the exact number. It is becoming more real. But, I guess it boils down to when you feel the call that God is calling you to do something, who am I to say no to that? He calls us out. And we need to follow that lead. So it's humbling. I'm a little bit nervous. I think I should be nervous. This is important work. Helping other people, helping ourselves. We're all trying to get to heaven, and so helping God's people, it's pretty important work. So, but it's exciting. I'm excited to start.